hello to my kings, queens, and in-betweens. I'm Valerie, and welcome to my channel, The Bookish Valkyrie. So we've got a week left in the year, and I have cleared my currently reading list as of this morning. So I decided to pull all of my graphic novels and children's books that I haven't read, along with a couple of rereads to pull from for my end of year reading. A reread that I am wanting to get to is Cheer Up, Love and Pom Poms.
Hi, sorry, editing Val here. So my sound in this section was clicky and crackly and terrible. So you get to see me frozen like this for the next little bit. Cheer Up is a graphic novel about two former besties who find themselves on a cheerleading team together unexpectedly and are rediscovering why they were friends to begin with, why they maybe should have been friends all along, and maybe a little something more.
Another reread I want to get to is the Heartstopper series, because I received the 5th volume for Christmas, and I want to just reread the whole thing. I have read most of the 5th volume on Webtoons already, so I kind of consider that still a reread, but it'll be my first time reading the 5th volume in the physical format, and I just love Heartstopper. I'm so excited to read the 5th volume, and I'm so happy to know that there is another volume coming. And then moving on to new to me reads, I have borrowed Speak by Lori Halsey and Lori Halsey Anderson and Emily Carroll. Emily Carroll's the illustrator. I borrowed this from the library, so I really need to get to this sooner than later. It is a banned book, and I haven't really looked into yet why it's banned. I just kind of read over what it was about and if it was something I would be interested in reading, and I think it is, and I will probably go over this in the wrap-up. The next book that I got from the library is Fangs by Sarah Anderson. She is the author of Sarah Scribbles, and I didn't realize that until just now. But I did flip through it in the library, and it looked like something interesting to me, so I'm excited to give this a read. I did actually give it a little bit of a start when I very first picked it up from the library, but I genuinely can't remember what I read, which is why I'm just going to start all over. I was too busy with the holiday scramble, and now I can give it some real attention. And then I also have Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Broche. I have had this on my shelf for a very long time. By the way, all of these are new to me reads going forward. So Hyperbole and a Half, I have seen like pieces of it online, but I've never actually read the whole thing, and I'm really interested to see how that goes. I bought this on Pangobooks a while back. I think I bought it from my friend Ness, but I'm not sure. Regardless, I'm excited to get to this. I also have the first volume of Worokoi, Love is Tough for Otaku. It's only the first volume. I also got this off of Pangobooks, and I'm just checking to see if it's something I'm interested in. If I want to continue it, I will probably hunt down the rest of the volumes, but if not, I will probably just stick this back on Pango and send it on to the next reader. And then I bought this book, I think, last November or something like that. Last holiday season, definitely. This is Galaxy the Prettiest Star by Jadzia Axelrod and Jess Taylor. It is about an alien princess who is hiding on Earth in the form of a high school boy. And it's by DC Comics, and I'm really interested to see how this goes. It is really colorful. Like, look how pretty. I can't wait to get to that. And then I also, on that same shopping trip, picked up Genderqueer. And this is also a banned book. It's by Maya I'm really bad with some of these names. Maya Kobabe? I swear I will figure out how to say these names. Anyhow, I've had this for a little over a year, and I have definitely flipped through it a few times, but it hasn't felt like quite the right time, so maybe I'll get to it this week. We'll see how that goes. And then I have the first 3 volumes of The World's Greatest First Love, The Case of Ritsu Onodera by Shungiku Nakamura. And I enjoyed the anime, so I thought I would pick up the manga and see what I thought. I found the first 3 volumes for really cheap on Pangobooks and used some Pangobooks to pick them up. So I'll possibly be getting to those this week. And then I also have Blue Flag. I have the entire first series, I have the entire series of Blue Flag on my shelf. I have heard so many good things about it, and I found a really good deal on Pango for them, so I couldn't really pass it up. So I've got this whole entire series to get to. Another manga series that I have everything for is Boys Run the Riot by Kido Gaku, and I'm excited to read this. Basically, it is a couple of trans kids who put on fashion shows, I think. I'm honestly not sure. But I do have the series, and we'll see what I think. I have heard lots of really good things about it. Lots of people really enjoyed it, and I am hoping to enjoy it too. And then a couple of books I picked up from Walmart, actually. I think I got these sometime last year, maybe last summer. So I've had these for a while. Close to whenever they came out, I'm guessing. But this one is Hungry Ghost by Victoria Ying. It is a story that looks like it's going to be a little bit hard to read, which is why I've kind of put it off, but I don't know. I'm thinking I might get to it. I'm definitely wanting to knock off as many of my own TBR as I can, if nothing else, so that I can either make room for new books or do another shuffling of my bookshelves, because that's a fun time for me. And then the other book I got around the same time is Brightly Woven by... it's adapted by Lee Dragoon, and the art is by Kit Seaton. And it's by Alexandra Bracken, so I'll have to look it up and find out why this is an adapted book. Anyway, it looked interesting. It seems like it might be an enemies to lover situation. It's definitely got some outsider vibes and magic, so it seems like my kind of story. And then I have the first 2 volumes of Monstrous by Marjorie Liu and Sana Takata. They wrote The Night Eaters, and I've read the books that are out from that, and I really enjoyed that. So I have had this on my shelf for a while and thought I would go ahead and get to these 2 because of how much I've heard about them and how great they're supposed to be. So we'll get that series started. And then this is another book by Emily Carroll. It's called Through the Woods, Stories by Emily Carroll. This was gifted to me last Halloween. So not this last Halloween, but a year ago. And it was in a book exchange on Litsy, where we swapped horror books and candy. And so this is one of the books that I got from that swap, and I'm really excited to dig into this. I've heard really great things about it. It was a new to me book when I received it, but I have since seen lots of happy people having read them. And then the last books on my list of possible reads for the week are some children's books that I've picked up over the year. So I just recently got this one for Christmas. It's Cora Cook's Pancit. I really love children's books, and this one is the first Filipino children's book that I've ever had, and I'm excited to read that. I love the art. Like, one of my favorite parts about children's book is the books are the artwork, and it's just so pretty. And then this one actually has recipes in the back, so that's exciting. It's got a recipe for Lolo's Pancit recipe. So anyway, I'm excited to read that. And of course, this is actually I don't know if this would count as a reread or not. I watched the animated version of this on YouTube, but it is a beautiful story and I love it, and I'm gonna go ahead and read that this week. And then this does count as a reread, I guess. This is a compilation of the Toad and Frog stories by Arnold Lobel, and these were like one of my favorite series of books to read when I was a kid. They were so much fun, and I'm excited to give them another read. So that is my plans for the next week, and I'll see you next year. Just kidding, I forgot about the audiobooks that I'm planning on trying to fit in while I'm doing cleaning around the house or chores out of the house, things like that. So I have a few short audiobooks that I'm interested in trying to get through as well. So I have a book from Rebecca Roanhorse. It's her short story that I can't remember which one. It's either in Out There or I don't know, but it was included in an anthology, and it's called Falling Bodies. And it's like an hour and a half. It's under 2 hours, and so it'll be a really quick read, and I'm pretty excited to read that. I believe it's also on Kindle Unlimited if you want to read it in ebook. The next one is just like a 38-minute audiobook, and that is Megan Fox's poetry book that came out called Pretty Boys Are Poisonous. And I'm really interested to see what she has to say. I think that she's definitely one of the actresses that have been kind of like done wrong by the industry quite a bit. And anything that she has to say is something I'm interested in hearing. And then a reread that I'm thinking of picking back up is Fina by Nino Cipri, because I also have the follow-up book, Defect, or a companion novella, I think. So they're both really short. I think Fina is under 4 hours and Defect is under 5. And then there's one that's another book that's an Audible Originals by Sydney Smith or Smythe. I never know how I'm supposed to say that. Why? I've heard it both ways. Anyway, this one is under 2 hours and it's called Bridesmaids. It's supposed to be a take on the Bridesmaids movie, but short and queer. And then another one I want to try and get to is Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher. I pre-ordered it and then I haven't been able to fit it into any of my reading. I honestly thought it was one I was going to read as soon as it came in, but I just haven't got to it. It's just over 3 hours, and it's one of her fantasy novellas, and I'm interested to see how that one goes. This last book is something that I want to definitely get to. If I don't get it read this week, then I'm definitely planning on getting to it next week. And that book is Minor Detail by Adiana Shibley. It is a book that centers around the suffering of the Palestinian people It follows a girl who is investigating the death of another girl, and all of the literal roadblocks and not so literal roadblocks that are in her way to walk down that path of discovery. She has to do things like borrow her friend's ID and library card just to go to the library, because she's Palestinian and she's not allowed in the library as a Palestinian. And just things like that, trying to make her way through it's difficult enough to figure out what happened to a woman whose death wasn't investigated anywhere, anytime. And then for her to be tracking this through a place like Palestine at a time like this, it's, I'm sure, going to be a really tough read, but I think it's definitely something that I should be reading, and I think it's probably something that other people should be reading. If you haven't heard about this book before, I definitely encourage you to go and hunt down some videos from other people who have read it, and get the history of the book and the history of the author. And I can't remember right off the top of my head, but I know that this book was awarded, it won an award in another country and in a European country, and then it's the award ceremony where it was, the award was supposed to be presented to the author, was canceled because of the fact that the author is Palestinian and it's a Palestinian story. So yeah, anyhow, I think that this book definitely deserves and needs the attention, and I definitely encourage everybody to go ahead and go give that a read. All right, so that is it for the books in my reading pool for the rest of the year and possibly going into next year. I am definitely concentrating on reading books that I own. And I'm not really joining any of the challenges because that's too much like a TBR. And so, but I am focusing on books that I already own and reading down my current TBR. And yeah. So I hope you guys all had a happy holiday, or, you know, if you celebrate, and if you don't, I still hope you had a great day, week, month, year. And I wish you guys luck in everything that you do, and free Palestine. See you next year. That is it for my reading pool for the year. I hope you guys had a happy December. I hope you had happy holidays, whatever holidays you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate any holidays, I hope you had a happy December. And that you are doing all the things that you wanted to get done at this point in the year. If not, best of luck on getting caught up. I'm definitely with you on that. I never accomplish everything that I want to, but I do my best. And sometimes that's not a lot. Anyway, I wish you luck on all of your endeavors, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the year. I'll see you next year, and free Palestine. Welcome to my channel, The Bookish Valkyrie. So we've got a year left. That's awkward and weird.